Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. It is time for more pub time with Cptn.Canuck here. I am perusing through the team games here, and I have just stumbled upon Paradox Gaming versus New Generation Dota. Both very North American sounding teams, so we'll see if we get something a little more reasonable. Who knows? Ridiculous is always fun. So this game starts in 40 seconds, so I'll just chat your ears off a bit while we wait for this one to get going here. Yeah, so I obviously didn't hear back about from any of you viewers about checking out some of those cast it replays, mainly because I don't have any viewers, but hopefully that changes soon, and I'm definitely going to start picking up some of those games. I was browsing through there today looking for some fun matches, and it looks like there's quite a few on there that are really that have some potential to be really good, but at the same time, there's a couple that are just over the top. People are like, hey, it's an 80-minute long game with 150 plus kills. It's ridiculous. And I'm like, oh, do you know how exhausting that sounds to cast? I mean, if nobody's killing objectives, game just doesn't work. But I don't know. Some of them look really fun, so I'll have to check them out. But it's a little overwhelming to start picking. But for now, I'm sticking to the usual, and we will see what happens as time goes on. Regardless, we are loading into the game here, so in just a few moments here, we will be looking at the draft here between Paradox Gaming and New Generation Dota. Anyway, so into the picks and bans. Looks like Paradox is going to be running up on the Dire side. Well, oh no, they're going to be on the Radiant. I done goofed already. Fantabulous. Paradox going to be on the Radiant. NGD going to be on the Dire side. First ban goes to Paradox, which means that they will get the first pick as well. The double pick goes the way of NGD though, which is the one that you really want. It's really hard to kind of... It's harder to pick up those super combo heroes like Shadow Demon Lina, Bane Marana, Tiny Centaur if you want it. You know, you can't quite snatch those in the first phase if you have the first pick. So I do like how the picks were changed ever so long ago. I think that was 6, 7, 8 when they were changed. But I definitely prefer that. Gives a little bit more versatility to the drafting and balances out the second pick quite a bit. So Lich, Venomancer, Visage, and Weaver all being banned out. Very well deserved bans in their own right, all for separate reasons, of course, but Crystal Maiden will be the first pickup by Paradox, so I mean, nothing to say there. Once again, Crystal Maiden, a fantastic hero. That the Mana Aura, the Frostbite, everything, it's fantastic. And Dark Seer and Alchemist being the first pickup for NGD. So that's a bit of a combo in and of itself. You can use the Vacuum into a Unstable Concoction, and if those two connect together, you can get a 5-man stun with Unstable Concoction. It can be pretty ridiculous, but it is pretty hard to pull off. I don't see a lot of Dark Seers anymore. No one prioritizes them as a first pick, or even a pick in general anymore. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out for them. I'm not sure why they chose to draft that after seeing the Crystal Maiden, because the Frostbite can hold the Dark Seer down for quite a bit and make Surge pretty useless if you get caught. But we'll see what they do to make it worth it. Vengeful Spirit is a response for Paradox Gaming, so they're going to look to use that to just kind of get a little bit more control in those team fights, stun up the core heroes, and get those key swaps to get somebody away. So Naga Siren being banned out right off the bat just to get rid of that Naga Dark Seer combo, even though the Vacuum can no longer be used in the sleep as it was in, what was it, TI2 now, but it is now... It is still a pretty darn potent combo because the Vacuum can land right as the sleep ends, and you can have the exact same problem you had before. Lifestealer being banned out, just the Lifestealer Vengeful Spirit combo is really good. It means you can swap 2 heroes in for 1 and turn a team fight in your favor really quick. Puck and Queen of Pain being banned out, so both heroes fearing the a couple of the mid lane dominators. There's still a lot out there. The OD is still in the pool. The Invoker is still in the pool. But Kunkka and Timbersaw are the next two pickups here. So both pretty beefy strength heroes that can't play on the offlane. This Kunkka will probably be taking mid though because of the Darkseer pickup. So looks like we're shaping up to have a Kunkka mid, a Darkseer on the offlane, Alchemist as a supporting role for NGD, and then on Paradox we've got the two supports, Crystal Maiden and Vengeful Spirit with an offlane Timbersaw. Could also be going mid, but that is not quite the norm nowadays. Last pick of the second phase coming out here for NGD, and we will see what they choose to go with in a moment. They do have a really potent team fight between the Vacuum, the Unstable Concoction, the Armor Reduction, the Boat, the Turret, so we could be looking for another hero to combo into that. Maybe a Treant Protector or somebody. Keeper of the Light works just as well. That Illuminate will deal a ton of damage, and always a fantastic hero in general. He just functions really well on all fronts. Juggernaut is going to be the pickup for Paradox Gaming, so a little bit of magic immunity to keep him out of that team fight wombo, and just functions great as a hero in general. I'm not sure if they have the lineup. Like, the Crystal Maiden combos with him really well early on because you get the Frostbite and the spin, but I'm not sure if they have quite the team for the Juggernaut. They don't have a lot to really support him in a fight. You know, he's kind of just going to be going in, doing his own thing. There is not a lot of lockdown aside from the Vengeful Spirit stun and the Crystal Maiden Frostbite. So NGD is free to pick up almost any carry they want. I would expect something like a Luna, maybe even an Anti-Mage if they're really feeling ballsy. Enigma, so they're not even going to go for... Oh, the Alchemist is playing carry this game. Alright, so we've seen a lot of support Alchemists lately, which is why I was kind of on that train of thought. It did cross my mind that he could be going carry, but I really didn't see it coming here. But they're going to go for the Enigma, so... huge AoE wombos here. Like I said, you're going to have the Boat flying into a Vacuum, Black Hole into Unstable Concoction, and Lone Druid's the pickup, so even more units to get stuck up in that Black Hole, but we'll see. We'll see how it works out. The Lone Druid is always a very strong pick, but I fear for their lack of control right now. They have nothing to shut down that Enigma Black Hole aside from the Vengeful Spirit's abilities. If she is in that Black Hole, it is going for its full duration, which is a very scary thing to deal with. As well, you have the Darkseer and the Kunkka feeding into that, which makes it a lot harder to shut them down. While everybody picks their heroes, I'm going to run to my kitchen really quickly and grab a glass of water because I realized I forgot to do that before the cast, and my throat is just going to be parched if this turns out to be a long game. So I will be right back. Moment of silence, but yeah.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Alright, I have returned once again. Apologies for that, but it looks like the teams were prepared for that and decided to pause for me to make sure that I could get back in time. Obviously they were not actually doing that, but it gives me a little bit of time to fix my settings because I always forget to do this. I'm terrible. Get the camera acceleration down so it looks nice and smooth in the team fights. And right as I get back, the Darkseer calls go, so there we go. I've got my precious water. I didn't miss anything, and how's about that? It turned out to be absolutely perfect. So, like I said, pretty predictable setup by both teams here. Looks like the Timbersaw will be going to the offlane, the Crystal Maiden, Vengeful Spirit, and wait, oh, Lone Druid mid. It's a Lone Druid mid. I didn't even. Is it a Lone Druid mid? Or is it? Ooh, okay. So as I'm saying, predictable. It doesn't look as predictable anymore. I think it's a Lone Druid mid. I think that's what this setup is for. I'm not sure about the Quelling Blade Stout Shield. That's usually what you buy if you're going in the jungle. Oh no, Timbersaw mid. It's going to be Timbersaw mid. And then looks like Lone Druid on the safe lane. And then the CM with the Vengeful Spirit and the Juggernaut heading aggressive. I don't know why that didn't cross my mind. It's stuck in my head that the Timbersaw was going to be the offlaner, but I get it now. Yeah, no, I actually ran Lone Druid mid in a game earlier, not earlier, but a couple days ago, and it kind of just stuck with me. Lone Druid is a mid hero. So just placing one ward up here, but it looks like the Darkseer is going to be taking the off lane and not the safe lane. They're not going to go aggressive with their lineup, but this is going to cause some troubles here as Paradox Gaming has set up. They've blocked this camp. They are going aggressive, and they are going to meet the tri-lane. So right now they are in the position that they want to be in. They're right where they need to be, and I don't know if NGD is ready for this. They're going to end up with an Alchemist and a Keeper of the Light against an aggressive tri-lane, and Enigma should be just fine in the jungle, really. See how it works out, though. Keeper of the Light sitting up in the mid lane, not quite sure what he's doing, just dancing around here. Is he gonna... Yeah, he's gonna... No, he's just throwing up wards. This is a cheeky little coddle play here. I don't mind it. Wonder if... No, Timbersaw didn't see that coming. Yeah, so he's just charging up the Illuminate, and he's even gonna miss? Yeah, he does miss. And the Timbersaw does know he's there now, so nothing gained there for that coddle, and that was a lot of wasted time considering the vulnerability of this lane. Alchemist is staying very far back, as he should, but he started off with 3 branches and regen, so he does not have a lot of items to, you know, make him any beefier, which he should have picked up. I mean, a stout shield at least would have saved him a lot of trouble right now, and this lane is going to be hell for him. He's not going to get any farm at all, and this Juggernaut is going to do as he pleases. Starting with the poor man's shield and getting a pool of tangos from the rest of his team, so he's looking pretty darn well off already. And I'm expecting Paradox to really take the laning phase right now. They've set everything up perfectly, and unless NGD adjust with some ganks, some rotations, they're going to be feeling the hurt. In mid lane, it looks like both heroes are trading pretty evenly. Timbersaw has dealt a little bit of damage to Kunkka, and Kunkka's done a little bit back. Timbersaw is pretty low on mana, but I mean, that's how it is. Once he gets his bottle, he'll be doing a little bit better. Down on the off lane, this is a pretty typical lane, as you'd expect. You used to see this lane a lot more before the rise of 679, and both of these heroes actually took a bit of a hit, but Lone Druid versus Darkseer, quite a bit of yeah, Lone Druid versus Darkseer, I mean, it's pretty much a farming lane. The Ion Shell doesn't do much to the bear, it takes it down, but it'll never kill it faster than the cooldown on the bear will come up, so both heroes just kind of gonna farm, waste their time, and that's all there's going to be to it. We're here. It looks like this Coddle is going to try to stack this lane, but 2 skeletons get summoned. I think one of the creeps died a little bit too close, and the skeleton stayed there and blocked the camp. So, wait, he pulled that way too early. What was he even trying to accomplish there? I'm not sure. But Coddle trying to be annoying, but the aggression is coming out. You know, they don't want to let him get away with that for free, and he might not. He could very well die here. The Unstable Concoction comes out, catches the Vengeful Spirit, but not going to do enough. And I think, yeah, Frostbite, boom, First Blood goes to the Crystal Maiden, and this aggressive tri-lane he is paying for itself. I mean, there wasn't a cost associated with it, but it is doing darn well. Runs back, chucks the torrent just to get rid of some of that mana. He's going to regen that up, grab an illusion rune, and then head on back towards that mid lane. So he's sitting pretty right now. Timbersaw just got his bottle, but he's only got 1 charge left and about half mana. So a couple spells later, he will be down and pretty vulnerable here. He's being forced to keep the bear back a little bit. Not opting to resummon it right away. He's just going to sit there and try to last hit with the druid, and then go in on the aggressive. But Darkseer doesn't seem to care. He's just running in there, retreats the bear, but oh man, that was close. If he took 1 tick from that Ion Shell, that bear would have been dead, and that would have been a lot of backlash damage. Maybe even, no, it wouldn't be enough to kill him. What's backlash damage? 300. 300 at rank 3, so he wouldn't have died, but he would have been really, really low. In the top lane, playing really defensive, but only 3 last hits on the Alchemist right now, and that is just not a good thing to be having here. His Coddle has actually probably got more last hits. Yeah, he's got 4. So this lane is just not working out for them, and they're gonna really need Enigma to come in for those early ganks. Looks like Smoke Gank is going off towards the side lanes though, and Juggernaut has backed off really far. In this scenario, sometimes it's actually good to just play aggressive and make the enemy team think that your supports are there. That way mid lane doesn't get scared, and you're actually a little safer because the enemy backs off expecting something terrible to happen to them. So here Juggernaut back off really far, and Alchemist just took that as an opportunity to run in there and grab a few CS, but pressure's back on. Here we go. The supports rotated back around, and they are going for a gank here. They stun out the Coddle really quickly, and they're going to finish him off. No problem, and now they're going for the Alchemist. Nothing to stop him from falling here. He's going to have to get some amazing jukes off, and I don't think it's going to happen. This Alchemist is going to die. Vengeful Spirit grabbed him, and that is 3-0 on the kill score for Paradox Gaming. All 3 of those kills coming from this tri-lane, so really doing well for them right now. Illuminate spam's coming back out, but it's not going to matter with this healing ward sitting here. 2 points in the healing ward for Juggernaut, knowing that he's going to be eating those Illuminates regardless. Just using that to keep him and his teammates nice and healthy. And, I mean, why not? There's not much else he needs to do for damage, just because of how this has worked out. Vengeful Spirit runs into Enigma in the jungle, but eats a Maledict, and then... Maledict? No, not Maledict. Why did I say Malefist? Malefist, that's what I was looking for. Eats a Malefist and starts getting beaten on by the Eidolons, and drops down relatively low health, but she's going to get away from that just fine. Timbersaw picks up a regen rune for himself and runs back towards the mid lane, and he is now in control of this mid lane. Kunkka is running pretty low on resources and does not have a rune to speak of for the next minute and a half, so he might even choose to Bottle Crow once his items get to him on the courier. The jungle here, Enigma's doing relatively well. He's sitting on his soul ring and 700 gold, so he could be on track for a sub 10-minute blink dagger if he farms it really efficiently. We'll see how this works out for him. He could go for actually no, he's going to go straight for the blink dagger. There is no reason not to here. What is... oh, okay. I don't know if he realizes he can just drag them right... oh yeah, he did. Okay. That was a little awkward. Yeah, like I said, this lane really boring. I don't think either of them's going to get a kill until Druid gets a really lucky entangle and the Darkseer just doesn't manage to get away. That's just kind of how that landed. Big boat torrent combo coming in here. Kunkka's looking for some action, but he's not quite going to find it. Timbersaw just walks away from that casually as the damage just wasn't enough and Kunkka wasn't close enough to follow up. That is all of his mana though, and he's really low on health. He's probably going to have to walk back to base here. There is nothing really for him. He doesn't have rune control, no wards on the map to speak of, and he's got no charges in his bottle. Nothing to fight with either. Oh wow. Wait, where did Alchemist die? Okay, so Alchemist died just up here. Must have gotten caught by a stun and a frostbite and just dropped up there. Coddle's taking a handful of damage here, but he's going to pop off his salve and he should be totally fine. Still just spamming that Illuminate, but it is only level 1, so it is hurting less and less each time the enemies level up. Enigma coming in for a little bit of a gank now, trying to look for action on that Vengeful Spirit, but she jukes into the trees and will avoid the rest of the hits from the Eidolon. And Juggernaut's just going to farm that up for free gold. There it goes. That's a lot of money going this Juggernaut's way. He is a very rich man right now. And let's take a look at the last hits and denies. Actually, not as much of a rich man as I thought he was. Darkseer and Enigma both sitting on top, with Timbersaw following slightly behind, and then Juggernaut and Kunkka following. So the Juggernaut isn't doing as great as I thought he was, but he has contributed to a lot of kills, which is, I would say, probably made up for as many CS as he is behind on that Darkseer. Druid getting a little bit aggressive there, throwing out some auto attacks, but Once again, passive lane is passive, nothing to watch out for here. Up top, I am missing kills because I am watching the boring lane. I apologize. Alchemist dropped, Vengeful Spirit dropped in exchange, but the Coddle does not manage to escape. Big teamfight coming in, the boat charges forward, does not hit anybody, but the rum goes out on Kunkka, so he's going to be able to avoid a lot of damage here. They're trying to hit him, he's bottling up, and as he's running away, the rum is wearing off, and the Chakram comes out and finishes him off. So 3-for-1 exchange there, 7-to-1 is the kill score, and Paradox Gaming is running away with this in the laning phase, as I kind of expected they would. I really hope, I mean, this is kind of what you expect looking at these drafts. New Generation Gaming, or New Generation Dota is actually playing, they're playing acceptably. Their lanes are subpar for the picks, but their team fight should more than make up for it. If everybody is getting the levels, which I think they are, their experience is being shared pretty darn well. This Alchemist and Coddle have eaten quite a few deaths, but they're doing okay, and the important heroes are the Kunkka, the Enigma, and the Dark Seer. And when it comes to the lane, when it comes to the team fight phase of the game, that's when it's really going to matter. The black hole being thrown out just for the sake of trying to survive while his teammates run forward, but it's not going to happen. The boat flies in, and oh wow, that haste through just saves Timbersaw as he runs away. Does not fall to that, and another kill goes the way of Paradox Gaming. Actually, another one as well. This Coddle gets a little too far out and gets caught out by the Vengeful Spirit. Even bothering to go under the tower, they are looking for this kill, and they're looking for a heart. There is no Alchemist Slash to speak of, but I think he's going to drop here. This Alchemist is so low. That ultimate keeping him alive pretty long there, and it's going to allow the Kunkka to run up and get a kill on the Vengeful Spirit. So pretty well played by the Alchemist. I think it was as well played as you could have expected for that scenario, but still not good for them.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Enigma
attack.
choosing to go for that mech first, so he is not going for the blink, which will put his blink initiations behind for quite a bit, and those are really what he needs. He needs to be able to combo those with the Dark Seer. The mech is always a fantastic item to have. You always need your mech. I cannot stress that enough. However, I think the Enigma would have been better off going for a blink dagger with the type of team fight, with the kind of team fight composition that they were setting up for here. Once again, though, that once that team fight phase rolls around is where we'll really see this game be decided. This is a really early lead for Paradox Gaming. However, if they can, if they can pull it together, or if they, if they do manage to start taking team fights and they really shut down those combos that we were just talking about, then it ends up being scary for New Generation. They don't have anything to go on after their team fight fails. Juggernaut is sitting about 2/3 of the way to his Aghanim Scepter, and that's going to be really, really scary. That will help their team fight a ton. It is pretty darn scary already between the Tricore of Juggernaut, Timbersaw, and Lone Druid, but it will get a lot worse with that. It'll get a lot worse with that Omni Slash. This Alchemist, man, he is so poor. Like I said, he's got the levels he's needed, but he is only 18 CS in, 4 deaths, sitting on a magic wand and boots. That is not where he needs to be at this stage of the game. He's not going to be useful for a very, very long time. The bottom lane, once again, passive-ass farm fest down here. Same thing over and over and over. Nothing new going on down there. Up on top, looking like there's a little bit of momentum going out here. Enigma's going to run up and start smacking the tower a little bit with his Eidolons, but he's going to back off himself. So just a little bit of poke damage coming out, and those Eidolons are going to drop pretty quickly as they're the only thing attacking the tower, so the tower will prioritize them. Coddle now sitting on some Tranquil Boots, not opting to go for his ultimate at level 6. They're not quite ready for that teamfight phase, so I don't hate that decision too much, but he is going to need it relatively soon as Paradox Gaming is not opting. Oh no, there's one more tree for him to hook down to. I thought he just killed the last tree that he had to hook to. But yeah, Paradox Gaming is moving around. They're leaving their lanes. They're starting to gank. They're starting to get a little bit more active on the map. they're going to really want to start taking towers, and you know, New Generation's going to have to respond in one way or another. And if their response is to back off and wait for a better fight, I think that is the best case scenario for them. But it's still not going to do them well. They're really going to need to, you know, make something happen, make it quick. They need to get some gold onto the people that matter, and really make the fights happen.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You're still farming really well, sitting on a Hood of Defiance, likely going for that Hood. So once that Hood and the mech are up together, it is going to be a really scary day for Paradox in those team fights. Looking to pick off that Druid, but man, he is so tanky. He's kind of just waltzing around over here. He doesn't really care. He does stop for the mana leak. I don't really think he needs to.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Dire tier 1 goes down at top, and man, that gank was pretty pitiful, I'm not gonna lie. They just auto-attacked him, and he said, I got 1400 health, what are you gonna do?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Bear kind of just waltzed around, didn't even really attack, just kind of danced there, no reason. Not choosing to pursue aggressively right away, just taking those TPs in, and they might be looking to take the bottom tier 1 now. Aghanims on Juggernaut are already 15-minute Aghanims. That is ridiculously quick, and what does that make the jumps on level 1? So 6 jumps at level 1. That is definitely more than enough to kill this Kunkka right now if he wants to do it, but looks like he's gonna save it. Oh, yeah, he's going. There he goes. Omni Slash comes out, jumps to a creep for 2 bounces, and that will not be enough to save the Kunkka's life. Man, that Aghanim is so deadly. No denial available. The Juggernaut does get the tower there, but that healing ward keeping him alive through the black hole. He's gonna walk away there. If Enigma had the wits to get one of his Eidolons to attack that ward, he might have actually gotten that kill there. But that ward was just so powerful. Rank 4 already, keeping him alive through pretty much anything there. 13-2 the kill score, and this game is slowly slipping away from NGD. Like I said, they do need to get together and make that AoE wombo work for them. They're going to be under-leveled, and their spells aren't going to do as much as they want, but they need to make it happen. They're getting out-farmed on the map, they're getting out-maneuvered on the map, and they're losing towers, which means they're slipping even further away in the gold advantage. If we look at the gold graph, it is very apparent here that in the last few minutes, since Paradox has started ganking and moving around, you know, there's a little bit of a dip here, but it's just slowly gone away as these towers have started going down. Same with the experience graph. Just as they started ganking, it just shoots up and up and up, and it will continue to do so if they don't make something happen. Like I said, they really need those key teamfight items. They need that mech, they need that pipe, and they need to get a good initiation, but you know, they need to find that fast, because you know, it won't come to you by waiting. You are getting out farmed, and the other team has a much scarier core than you do, so you have to play it. You gotta play it smart. That's it. Coddle trying to juke away from this Timbersaw as he pursues him down here. Timbersaw is running really low on mana, so he might not be able to get him, and the dodge chakram will ensure that Coddle gets away. Low mana on that Timbersaw, he's gonna have to back off there. He is sitting on a Bloodstone now though, so he will regen there really quickly. Bloodstone, ridiculously quick. 15 minutes or so there, along with that Juggernaut Aghanims. The gold advantage and the farming advantage has just been in Paradox's favor the entire game. Even though that Dark Seer is on top of the board. Oh man, 2 big fights going down there. Protection of the tower on the bottom tier 1. Dark Seer getting caught out here, does not have anything to keep him alive, and gets caught, gets finished off by the Vengeful Spirit, and this Alchemist is going to try to run away from the Bear, but the regen is just keeping him alive through anything. Bear is too far away from the Druid and will not be able to attack, so nothing happening down on the bottom lane. Wow, sorry, I missed that tower deny, but it wasn't a deny actually, sorry, I expected it to be denied, but the Catapult did manage to grab that tower, so at least something that could go in the way of NGD right now. Venge is looking for action, and that Coddle moved back just a little bit too much. I thought he was going to get caught there, but he does not quite yet. Lots of pressure coming out here. This is where the fight needs to happen. Maybe not here. Might not be ideal quite yet, but you know, they're running out of time. They really are. It's going to get to the point where, you know, BKB is up on the Juggernaut, and there's just too much for them to handle. They are going to shove away the pressure for now and just kind of get rid of the creep wave.
Dire's
But
top tower is
man,
under attack.
I'm really worried about them. Like I said, they are on a clock, and the other team's core is getting really scary right now. Paradox has a lot of great items up. Maelstrom there. They've got the Bloodstone. They've got the Aghanim. They've got a Yule's on Crystal Maiden now, so everything you could ask for. Boat going out now, looking for that initiation. Vacuum back in, gets hit by the boat. Timbersaw tries to get away, but he gets stunned midway. But the, oh wow, big black hole goes down on the Vengeful Spirit and the Crystal Maiden. The wall is there doing a lot of damage, but the Juggernaut can live through anything. He is so tanky right now, and he is trying to get away, but he is getting beat on by Illusion. Just trying to get cutted away right now. 2 for 2 is the casualty count at this point in time. Enigma pops his soul ring and turns around to get that stun to try to finish him off. The Alchemist does get the kill on the Timbersaw, and Juggernaut is going to run away. So 3 to 2 the kill score. However, in the meanwhile, Lone Druid gets a tier 1 tower, and you know, that fight did not go as disastrous for Paradox as New Generation would have liked. They needed that to be big, and it was pretty darn big. That was a good black hole. There was a good wall in the middle. It was a good back into the ship, but they needed it to happen a lot more smoother. They needed to catch all the heroes in those spells and just make everything come together, and it just didn't quite. And like I said, I'm worried for them. 16 to 15. I wish it was that close. 16 to 5 is the kill score at this point in time. 20-minute, 45-second mark. 4 outer towers down for New Generation, and only 1 for Paradox. Room being grabbed up here by the Timbersaw, and looks like that Assault Cuirass will be coming out by the Lone Druid momentarily. Actually, not quite yet. He's still a good number. He's still a good chunk of gold away from that, but he does have the plate mail, so that will be indicating that. I don't know of any other item that involves a plate mail that the bear would buy. And then Enigma not looking too interested in the Blink Dagger right now. He opted to go for Power Treads first, give him a little bit more survivability, and making sure he picks up all the support items he needs, such as the wards and the you know, the Ring of Basilius, which I think he had from the beginning, but you know, he's making sure he serves his team first and not those team fights, which again is a great thing normally, but I think in this game you need the initiation. You need to catch the key heroes. You need to make sure that Vengeful Spirit and Juggernaut cannot escape your black hole. You know, that's what has to happen to make these team fights happen, and if you're walking into that fight, it very likely won't. Well, big smoke gank here with Juggernaut picking up a double damage. This could be deadly. They find the Alchemist. They're going to run right in on him, and he's going to evaporate. Doesn't even manage to get the stun off. And the rest of PG Paradox Gaming is going to back.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Crystal Maiden almost in range for a couple spells there, but does not manage to pick them up.
Top
Top tier 1 for Paradox does actually go down to the Darkseer in the meantime, but stun goes out on this Enigma. He's going to get caught up here. He will not survive this. He popped the mechanism, but it's just not enough. Cook throws out a torrent. It's going to catch a Crystal Maiden, but not going to be enough. And mid tier 2 goes down. Pipe, that is a pipe. So Darkseer now has a pipe. I mean, they've got all the team fight items they can. They need to take a fight. They need to contest this Roche, actually. I don't know if Enigma can buy back. He certainly cannot. But man, this is rough. If this Aegis goes to Paradox right now, I'm calling it 95% in favor of Paradox. They're having a fantastic game. All of their players are playing exceptionally well, and they've just taken command of the game. They've really done everything they needed to avoid the troubles that they would have had with this team fight lineup later on. And to clarify what I meant by saying they did what they needed to do, a lot of times when you face a team fight lineup like this, the enemy team will have pretty darn weak lanes. Now, this isn't always true. There are a lot of heroes that lane really well. Darkseer does lane pretty darn well. Kunkka lanes pretty darn well. Caudle does even, but the thing is that they tried to maximize their early game efficiency by sticking the Enigma in the jungle and putting that Alchemist on a carry position while stalling the offlane. And that left them really susceptible to that tri-lane, which was thrown down by Paradox Gaming. So that tri-lane absolutely crushed. It did exactly what it needed to. It picked up kills, put a lot of pressure on, and it limited the Alchemist's amount of gold, which thus limited his overall impact in the game. The rest of the lanes were pretty even toss-ups. I mean, Kunkka died once or twice, I think, and those were involved in team fights, but it wasn't a terrible he didn't have a terrible laning phase. He just got caught out once and he farmed okay. Radiant's courier gets killed. Okay, so he gets snagged off to the side. I think the Darkseer picked that up. But yeah, so Kunkka didn't have a bad lane, but that tri-lane really shut NGD down because it hampered their levels and it forced their Enigma to come out of the jungle and delay his core items just a little bit. And it gave them enough of an edge to get towers and get some gold under their belt. And now if we take a peek at the net worth graph, we see that 3 heroes are at the top of that. Omni Slash coming out now, picking off the Darkseer. Enigma gets swapped in, and Black Hole does go down, but she does get stunned by the Crystal Maiden. The boat comes in, but Juggernaut is already spinning, and oh man, too little too late, my friends, too little too late. Like I said, that was pretty close to what they needed, but they needed that 10 minutes ago. But yeah, they just put the pressure on right where they needed it, and it really helped them get that early advantage that they were just able to continually push. So I think this was played very well. This wasn't it just gets popped by an Illuminate there. This wasn't an overall poorly played game by either team. I think they did okay with what they had, but NGD needed to make their lanes happen. They needed to anticipate that aggressive, switch out their lanes, make sure the Darkseer was there to take that, and then just stall until they had their key items. Big vacuum in, but nothing quite there to follow it up right on the mark. Boat comes out, does hit the Druid, and that will be all. Big wall comes out, but no one actually getting their illusion created in this wall because the vacuum was used beforehand. So Omni Slash goes out, does not manage to pick up a kill. Illuminate goes out, finishes off the Vengeful Spirit, and they're going to be chasing down this Juggernaut. And they actually get him, so they do get this fight, and they turn it around. They will defend after their Rax goes down, which is unfortunate, but for now it'll do. They still do have a chance in this game. I didn't mean to make it sound like I was writing them off with that speech, but just trying to get a little bit of an idea of how that early game went wrong, because like I said, I don't think any of the individual players played their roles terribly. There were no massive throws, no one just walking into the middle of a team. It was just the positionings, the laning, and the smart decisions that were made by Paradox that really won them the early game. We'll see if that carries on into the late game as this teamfight wombo ramps up a little bit, but they have so much gold under their belt, and the net worth graph shows that. I mean, Crystal Maiden is higher than every hero on the Dire side except for the Darkseer. Hyperstone up on the bear right now, and that looks like it will be the Assault Cuirass. Yes, it is. So Assault Cuirass up on the Spirit Bear, and that will make him deal a lot more damage and get a lot more entangled. Very scary for what they need. Boat comes out, but lands on the Magic Immune Juggernaut. Chasing down the Crystal Maiden right now, looking to get her. They do get the Malefice stun, and she is toast. Bye-bye, Crystal Maiden. 40 seconds down on her, and Juggernaut did make it out clean. He does have a Butterfly now, so it is going to be very hard to kill him. NGD does not particularly rely on their auto attacks in these fights. The Alchemist is pretty much a non-factor at this point. He has picked up an armlet and drums right now, so he does do a little bit more than he did originally, but a lot of the damage is coming out from the boat, from the Illuminate, the Dark Hole, the Black Hole with the Midnight Pulse, and other such things. Alchemist drops in the mid lane to what I assume was an unlucky entangle there, getting caught by that bear. Flying out, trying to deflect this creep wave a little bit. Will not kill it completely, but creeps will march up here to die to one hit to the tower. Swap goes out on the coddle, but there goes the stun. He should be toast. Actually, he has a Ghost Scepter right now, so that will save him, allow him to run away here. The Dark Seer is looking for action. There goes the boat. The vacuum goes in, but the vacuum catches nobody, and the boat hits nobody as a result. Dark Seer is in the middle of this, trying to do what he can. The wall has not yet been thrown down, but man, this was rough. They really needed that vacuum to hit, and PG played it very well by spreading out and just making sure that they were away from, just whoa, crap, lost control of the camera there. Just making sure they were away from that danger zone. If we went back and watched that instant replay, you would see there was a hero here, there was a hero here, there was a hero here, and then there was a hero up in here. There was no one to vacuum. Now sitting on a Blink Dagger and working towards a Black King Bar. Has a Mithril Hammer up. Omni Slash flies out. Oh man, Enigma's gonna eat so many of those hits, and he drops just from that Omni Slash alone. Boat comes in, actually will catch a lot of heroes this time with the good vacuum. Wall goes down, making a lot of illusions, and this might be the team fight they need to take. Juggernaut's a little bit too scared to walk in there and take that damage from that boat. He doesn't have any mana, so they are going to be able to pursue this as the sun flies out, and I don't think there's anything the CM can do for this. He's going to walk in and drop her ultimate, but is there going to be anything to stop her? Yes, and X marks the spot goes out, and she drops 4 heroes going down to the 2 of NGD. That's that teamfight power we were talking about earlier, but this bear is doing work. He might actually clean this fight up here. Kunkka tries to do a little bit of damage while he's stunned, but he's just on a rampage. The bear is looking for the Kunkka. He's going to chase him down. That Orb of Venom giving him just enough of a slow to finish off the Kunkka. So triple kill going the way of the lone druid, and that fight ended up actually being a 4-for-4 in the end. It looked like it was so much better for NGD, but just they pursued onto that druid a little bit too hard and paid for it with 3 of their heroes' lives.
Dire's middle
2 of their
barracks are
heroes'
under
lives.
attack.
Sorry, the Darkseer
Dire's
fell before
structures
in the
are
fight.
fortified.
Rax going to be taking a fall here. That's 2 lanes of Rax down at 31 minutes. Not impossible to hold, but definitely incredibly difficult. Ghost Scepter comes out, saving the coddle once again. Actually, I don't even know if that saved him. A lot of that damage would have been spell damage regardless. But there they go. They're still going to try to hold on. No early GGs being called, and NGD is just going to wait for another opportunity. Roshan is not back up, and I still have no clue how to read this clock, so I cannot tell you when it's going to be up. I think
Dire's bottom tower
what
is
we're
under
looking at
attack.
here is this is the window in which it will spawn, and this is when it's ticking down. So we still have about 4 minutes left until that Roshan will be back up. Boat flying out here, gonna look for some action. Does manage to catch the druid, so that is a big pickoff very early on in this fight. Sun goes out on the Vengeful Spirit. She's gonna drop 2 for nothing going down right here. But the Alchemist is charging ahead without his team. He gets sheeped up, and they're gonna jump right onto this. Omni Flash goes out, finishes him off really quickly, and that Alchemist, that was one of very few mistakes that was blatantly made this game. Like I said, a lot of decisions were made poorly, but that was just a blatant, oops, I thought my team was here, and they weren't. So 2 heroes going down for 1, and I think the momentum is still on the side of Paradox, even though they only have 3 heroes up. I'm gonna like to move in towards this mid lane here, and there are only 3 heroes defending. You got Coddle off to the side, the Darkseer in the middle here, and the Kunkka waiting to jump in. The Enigma is back at base, just healing up, and there's really nothing to stop them from just camping out this lane right now. Manalik goes down on the Timber Saw, but he doesn't care. He's just gonna walk back and forth and say, LOL, I got a Bloodstone, I can regen whatever you throw at me. Enigma blinks in, gets the stun off, but I don't think he was aware that the Juggernaut was up on the top of the cliff there. Frostbite goes out on the Darkseer. He's getting caught up. Big vacuum in, but the boat is just a little bit too delayed. This wall is in a little bit of a poor position, not quite catching anybody it needs to, but the Timber Saw is sitting there making more illusions of himself as he goes on. Gets caught out by a stun. The Crystal Maiden is already dropped. The Timber Saw is going to drop as well. 2 for nothing, and they're gonna look to chase onto this Juggernaut here. The stun is not quite up, 4 staffs away, and they're gonna look for the Vengeful Spirit instead. I don't think there's anything she can do to get out of this. Yep, she is toast. 3 for nothing going the way of NGD, but the Juggernaut jumps back in, balls of steel with the Omni Slash and the Lone Druid following behind, and he's gonna pick himself a kill up on that Enigma, and Bear's gonna go for it, but that's all. This is a cool little trick that I'd never seen before. I always thought the Bear had mana, even though it didn't have spells. Like, it's got the mana bar up here, but I guess you can just insta-mana leak stun that Bear, so that's kind of a cool little trick to know. Didn't know that before. Basher up on the Bear right now, so he's going to be able to lock down a hero very hard. 2,000 gold sitting up here on the Juggernaut, and no new items as of yet. He will be shopping for those pretty darn soon, I would imagine, though. Only a Chrysalis on the Kunkka, though. Well, he's pretty close to his Daedalus. He's about 400 gold off of it, and he still needs to get to the secret shop to buy that Demon Edge. So once he gets that, this teamfight potency actually increases quite a bit yet again, and I mean, that is a little bit more ability for NGD to hold. Like I said, they are in pretty dire straits right now, but they're not out of it. If they take like 3 good team fights in a row and get Roche, which will not happen because it is down right now, going to go to nobody. Oh, the Juggernaut. Yeah, the Juggernaut does have to take it. And, well, Kunkka walks up a little bit too far, gets caught out, and there he goes. And this is looking pretty grim. This could be the final push with the Aegis. It is 6-on-4 right now. Kunkka cannot buy back because he opted to buy a Shadow Blade. Oh no, he had the Shadow Blade before. He went and bought his Demon Edge. My apologies. But, this is it. The wall going down preemptively. Try to deter this push, but they really don't care. Juggernaut's going to run right in there, run across the wall twice, duel himself, picks up another couple of illusions, takes a handful of damage from himself, actually. Kind of funny. Darkseer's going to try to get in there, get the vacuum, but he doesn't do it and gets sheeped up. The Alchemist's going to try to run in, do some damage here, but he has no BKB, nothing to stop him. Only 2 heroes caught in the... Actually, a hero and a Bear caught in that black hole. Juggernaut just wailing away on anybody. He actually drops it, they just get popped, but the Crystal Maiden gets in, gets a second off on her ulti, which does enough damage to kill the Darkseer, and the Coddle is going to... Omni-Slash is physical, today I learned. Actually, I did know that. Never mind. The Coddle escapes that, the Darkseer buys back, but that is Mega Creeps, and I think that is GG. They do call it here. NGD played a fantastic game, and I think this was actually a pretty damn good game to cast overall. Like I said, it appears from an outside view that this game was actually pretty one-sided, and in all right, Paradox was in control for most of the game, but I think both the teams had their heads on straight. They knew what they were doing, and you know, one team just kind of edged the other out, and that was all there was to it. So, fantastic game. I really enjoyed watching that. That was a fantastic game to find randomly on the pub servers. So, thank you guys all so much for watching. I've been Cptn.Canuck, and I hope you guys have a great night.